name's Sowden, lead author of MSP. I'd like to give you some hints and tips on how to get your risk management right in programs. Programs fail regularly for the same reason. They don't manage risk effectively, or they operate in isolation. So here's a few key things to think about. Number one, you need a risk management strategy. This helps you think and manage the way you operate within your organisation's risk environment. And if you're a program that's operating in a number of environments, you need to work out how you're going to operate across them. The document you write this up in is your risk management strategy. Far too often we see programs that are completely unconnected to their corporate strategy when it comes to risk management. Number two, your process. Yeah? When we're looking at P303 assessments, we quite often find that there is no process. Program risk is quite often pumped up project risk. But of course it's not. It's actually risk in its own right. So when you're at the program level, you're looking at the aggregation of project risk, you're looking at operational risk, you're looking at corporate risk, you're in the middle. So you've got to sort out your process. Number three, tools and systems. Tools and systems. Okay, far too often we just see a program with a risk register. What's wrong with risk registers? Well, what they don't do is they don't explain how risks interact with each other. They're a linear process and a list of things that might go wrong, and you'll kind of feel better because you fed it in, right? Actually, what you need to be able to do is see how the risks interrelate. So the most important thing you can have is a risk map, or at least have your risks mapped out on some sort of matrix. The things that cause programs to go wrong are risk cocktails, where one risk explodes and all the others go with it. Nobody saw that one coming. And the other one is what they call the domino effect risk, where one risk happens and slowly that delay knocks onto another delay or something like that. Or the bill goes up here, there and everywhere. So we've got two types of risk. Your process needs to cope with both of those, as do your tools. The other area is you need to think about is the overall risk profile. Now there are some tools out there for this. The Cabinet Office Gateway process is one. They have a thing called an RPA. But so many times we're recovering programs because when they kick that program off, nobody really thought about whether they can actually deliver it. So the areas that I would suggest you look at: competence. How good are your people? How good is your organisation at delivering programs? Novelty. Have you done it before? If this is the first time you've done this type of program, or any type of program, the risk is higher. Complexity. How complex is this change going to be? Looking across process, business units, organisations. Looking at the technology, are you the first movers or have you done it all before? Are you just following everybody else? So there's market knowledge even if you haven't. Thinking in terms of timescales. If this program's 3 years, 4 years, it's going to absorb your organisational oxygen. All right. So even though it might seem straightforward, it's going to suck things in like a fireball sucks in oxygen. Other areas you might want to look at: cost. Bigger the budget, the more frightened people get. But that's not the only dynamic. You need to really think about these other areas. Okay, so there's some hints on how to look at your overall risk profile, and then those things move to the risk register. And finally, how do you connect with your projects? Think in terms of threats and opportunities. What are the threats? Because if you're looking across a whole load of risk registers from projects, they will have made up their own risks. What you've got to have is a way of identifying those risks or those threats that are panning across. So every program suffers from similar threats: budget cuts, change scope, no blueprint, so you don't really know where you're going and everybody thinks that's too complicated, availability of skills and resources. So those are threats that you know you're going to have. So if you say to each of your projects, you manage these threats, they might actually create different risks in each project. But you, at the program level, can at least track them rather than trying to decipher a load of incoherent words in risk registers. I hope that comes in handy.